Now that we're ready to begin our search pattern, we're going to start with the soft tissues as we go outside in. And the way that I like to set this up is I like to have my axials on the left and then my sagittals on the right. And for my axials, I like to use probably a medium thickness, like 2.5 millimeters. Put it on the abdomen or soft tissue window. And the way I approach the soft tissues here on the axial slice is I kind of set things up into quadrants. We can kind of do our anterior, then our right lateral, our left lateral, and then our posterior. So we just start at the top of the scan. Depending upon how high up the scan goes, you may get different neck and even head pathology. So you just want to be mindful of that. Here, we don't really go too high. We just catch part of the thyroid, but in some cases, you may catch submandibular or parotid glands. So we can start here with the thyroid that's just draped over here, and we can kind of scan up and down. This is all still thyroid, looking for nodules or anything suspicious. And then we can go a little bit lower once we get past the thyroid. We'll save the mediastinum for later, but we'll stick more anterior for now for the soft tissues. And very naturally, what we can do is find the internal mammary vessels. So here they are on the right, here they are on the left. And this can be a place where there can be lymphadenopathy in certain circumstances. So you can follow these internal mammary vessels and follow those internal mammary lymph node chains and just make sure that there's nothing unusual going on there. So you can go one side at a time. As you get more comfortable, you can look at both of them at the same time and just kind of follow those vessels, make sure there's no suspicious lymph nodes hanging out there. And you can follow these all the way down into the abdomen. And then what you can do is look at the abdominal anterior soft tissues. Depending on how low you go, you may catch a hernia. You may catch something of interest down there as well too. And then as we come up, we want to take special attention to other areas where there can be suspicious soft tissue pathology, like the breast tissue. So we can look at the right breast here and kind of scan up and down and look for anything that's suspicious. And then we come to the other side and we'll look at the left breast here too, make sure that there's no suspicious masses or lymph nodes there. As we go back to the top of the scan, now we'll go to a lateral, our right lateral soft tissues, and we'll just kind of look in this quadrant here and come down, paying special attention to the right axilla. These are little lymph nodes that are popping in and out of view. So we just, as we scan up and down, this is definitely a very important area of interest to look for axillary lymphadenopathy. Here, all of the lymph nodes are appropriately sized and don't have a suspicious shape, so that's good. And we can scan all the way down and look at the lateral soft tissue surfaces here. Then we can come to the other side as we scan up on the left and just make sure there's no weird hernias or masses or abscesses. And then we'll, as we come up and cut into the axilla here, we'll do the same thing. We'll take a look. Here we see normal lymph nodes, nothing suspicious. And we can just kind of scroll through the axilla on the left and we're good to go. Paying special attention again to the soft tissues now on the left lateral side. Then we can go posterior. There may be some instances where there are decubitus ulcers or abscesses that hang out back here. So we can just take a look, go all the way down, and just make sure that there's nothing suspicious in the posterior soft tissues. Then we can come up. And again, as you get more comfortable, you may be looking at more quadrants at one time, so this will go faster. But this is just a kind of a systematic, broken down version of how you go about things one step at a time. And at the end, depending on your context, what you can do is maybe switch your window a little bit so you can actually look at the spinal canal and look and see if there's any soft tissue abnormalities in the spinal canal. So you can look right here, see if there's any herniating discs, anything that's causing significant osseous narrowing, or causing impingement upon the spinal canal. And then what you can do is you can kind of corroborate this as you window on your sagittals here too, and get kind of another sense of, is there anything that's poking out into the spinal canal which could be causing symptoms depending on what the indication for your study is. So that's a quick look at the soft tissues, and once you've done that, you're ready to move on.